Hey, what is up guys? My name is Harrison Barron. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. Now in this video, there's going to be a super clickbaity title, and honest to God, it's quite a bit true and freaky true that not only did Tai Lopez, but Gary Vaynerchuck helped form my company. And before you're like, no way did this guy get information from them that nobody else has access to, or did I sign up for their courses? Well, I did sign up for some courses of theirs, and also, no, I don't have direct access to them, and no, they've never spoken to me a day in their life. They don't even know who I am. But going from $0, and I mean $0 in my bank account to six-figure marketing agency in less than 1 year is so true. Now, full disclosure, I don't just sell ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, anything like that. I do quite a bit. I have a bunch of different services. If you guys really want to go check out all my services, go visit my website, baronmediagroup.com. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about, I do run a smma, or a social media marketing agency, but I don't just do marketing. I want to say it's more of like a digital marketing agency, but with the two of them and their support and videos, it has helped me tremendously build my business. And I've taken a lot of things from both people, and I kind of want to get into that in this video. This video is completely unscripted. I have no idea what I'm going to cover right now, but I know that at the end of this video, you're going to get a lot of value. And even though that some of you probably think they're swindling people out of money or anything like that, their values carry a lot of weight. So about a year ago, just over a year ago, I started my business. I had $0 in my bank account. Heck, the studio that I'm in, and I'll do a video at a later date of the studio that I'm in, but the studio that I'm in wasn't even here. I literally built it in a warehouse from the ground up, and I was kind of sick of dealing with my old boss. So at a point, I just hit it, and I was like, you know what? Screw this job. At this point, there's no turning back. There's no amount of money that they could possibly pay me that'll keep me here for the most part. I had already spoken to my buddy John, who's in the office up front, and I was like, hey, I really don't like my job. And he was like, look, you're welcome to come in with me. You got to build out the studio. I don't want to spend any money, but build it out, and you could be in the warehouse. And as long as I have access to using the studio, and I have a podcast in here and stuff like that, I've kind of really turned it into the ultimate man cave. But I do a lot of stuff in here. And from there, I would leave my job every night at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I would come here and I'd work till midnight. My dad gave me a ton of help, so huge thank you to him. And I would sit here and work all night long. It could be, hammering nails, screwing in screws, putting up sheetrock, spackling, electricity, anything like that needed to be done, going out to get hardware. I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff. I literally had like zero experience, with the exception of learning over the years from my dad, and how to do all this kind of stuff. We ran into a whole slew of problems, the ground wasn't even. I didn't know how to do a bunch of different things, had to learn a bunch, learned from YouTube University, just like everybody that learns nowadays is learning on YouTube. But ultimately, how to absorb sound, what kind of carpet is the best kind of carpet, so that way the sound doesn't echo. All of these different factors came in, and ultimately, after about 2 months, boom, I had it. I had my own place. Went up to my boss and said, hey, you know what? Thanks for your time. I appreciate it, but I'm going to go start my own business. And it wasn't in the same industry, so I was literally leaving a company where I had a paycheck every week. I had friends there, that some of them I would even consider them family, in the IT world, and I left to start my own business in marketing and digital media, and I had zero experience. The only experience I did have was starting a podcast, building a website, running a social media for that. And ultimately, over time, people came up to me and said, hey, I like your website, can you do this for me, can you do this for me? And I had said yes. I just said yes every single time. And I said, you know what, I can do it, I'll do my best, and if you don't like it, I won't take your money. That's it. That's exactly how I ran it. So you're probably wondering, how does Tai Lopez, or how does Gary Vee, or some of the other major influencers that I think had a huge impact on me. Tony Robbins was a true inspiration. I got to see him live. But there's been so many people that I've kind of turned to as a source of strength, but also a source of knowledge, because a lot of people don't realize that you could learn quite a bit from just following people on social media. And that's part of the reason why I have this channel, is to help educate and help teach people about different things. But ultimately, what it came really down to is, you can't take garbage from people. You can't let yourself be treated like you're not a human. You have to really kind of stick up for yourself. But the only catch to all that is, you really have to not only be willing to stick up for yourself, but you have to be willing to follow through with it, which I think a lot of people have a really hard time understanding. Following through is the hardest thing ever. I don't have a boss. I haven't had a boss in a year and a half. I've literally just done this. I go out, I do business networking, I do social media for people, I'll build their websites. I have a ton of different sources of revenue and different ways to get leads, but ultimately going from literally knowing nothing, I mean nothing, to a six-figure company, growing pretty quickly, and all that kind of stuff took a lot of guts. And I mean, when Gary Vee says, put your head down and just work, I hate to agree with him, but he's so right. Now, I did my best, and I do my best to have some kind of social life because I think it's really important. On top of that, personally, I'm a hardcore extrovert, so I need people in my life. I need people to speak to, I need people to hang out with, and I feed off those people, especially their energy and their ideas. The guy John up front, who's a really good friend of mine, he owns a company called Watch Gauge. He also has a YouTube channel, Watch Gauge and Watch With Us. I'll link both of those down below. He's been tremendously supportive over helping me grow my business and giving me a place to operate out of, and the podcast that I had and all that kind of stuff. We've really kind of put something amazing together. And when Gary Vee is like, you got to go out, you got to lead by example. If you want it, you got to go get it. Tai Lopez, health, wealth, and happiness are really important. And I really genuinely agree with that. I did a lot of soul searching the last year and a half. And I'm not even going to lie. My company was pretty stagnant for the most part. I would get an account here and there, maybe lose a customer in the beginning. And because I really didn't know what I was doing. I really had no idea on how to do this. And honestly, nobody online really tells you their secret sauce, which kind of stinks. And I intend to void those rules at one point or another. But because of that, it kind of sucks. And when that happens, you really don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You're kind of piecing things together. You think that you're figuring things out. And, when you have $0, everything is coming from you. So, I need to get a new customer to go buy this piece of technology to make them get a little more successful or make me get a little more successful. Or I need money coming in the door so I can buy a nice camera that will allow me to take better photos and videos that now I can offer to my customers as an added value or to sell to them. And a lot of these people, especially Tony Robbins, I think had a crazy impact on my life as far as spirituality, and not that I'm spiritual by any stretch of the imagination, but really kind of doing some soul searching and realizing that you are, one, more than enough, and two, I don't think people give themselves credit for how smart they really are. A lot of people, especially if you like experiencing new stuff, you're pretty damn smart. I don't care what anybody says. That's the ultimate truth. If you want it bad enough, you will figure it out. There's definitely a lot of things that, Tai Lopez, and I know that he gets a lot of flack for what he talks about and what he does, but honestly, finding a business model that works for you and just utilizing it, sticking to the process works really, really well. It's crazy how well it works. Same thing with Vaynermedia. I pick up tips and tricks from them all the time because he's constantly putting stuff out there. When that kind of stuff happens, I, as a business owner, have constantly started to take it in and utilize it for the ultimate betterment of my company. I constantly do that. So some of the things that I've learned along the way is how to make sales, how to make those connections. Where is a comfortable number for you to start? Are you pricing yourself too high? Are you pricing yourself too low? Are you pricing yourself at fair market value? What determines your price? I've talked about, how to figure out what things are worth or how much you should charge for certain things in a previous video, but a lot of it is kind of piecing things together, and it's a lot to piece together at one time. But if you really want it, I mean, you gotta want it so bad you feel it in your bones, that is when ultimate success comes out of it. I didn't think I'd have a six-figure company ever. I really wanted it, but I didn't think it would ever actually happen. And I just did the math the other day, and I'm breaking six figures, which is mind-blowing to me. I'm shaking because I get so excited about it because I never thought it would happen. I never thought I'd have 100 and something episodes on my podcast. I never thought all of these different things would come together in my life that would allow me to be the person I want to be and continuously move in the right direction. I never thought I'd have a YouTube channel. You and I right now, I never thought this would ever happen. I wasn't that kind of guy, but I knew I could be that kind of guy that would help other people be that kind of guy. So doing that and learning it and just saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to spend 80 hours a week in my office or on my computer learning and digesting what other people are doing and figuring out what works and what doesn't work and how to make a thumbnail on YouTube. Those are all parts of a moving thing that ultimately has to come together at some point for you to put money in your pocket. Ultimately, everybody's in business to make money, to earn a profit so that they can walk away with something, right? That's why everybody goes into business. If that's not the case, then you probably should stop watching now or start a non-for-profit where you don't have to keep all the money. But because of all that kind of stuff, I have to give them a huge kudos because I never thought that I would ever be like, hey, thanks Tai Lopez, thanks Gary Vee, thanks Tony Robbins, and there's a whole slew of other people out there that have helped me build my business. The one single tip out of this entire video, if I can give you one tip, the one best tip I could possibly give you if you're thinking about starting any business, especially or predominantly a social media marketing agency or some kind of digital marketing agency, it really is ultimately applicable to any business, is read books. I mean read books a lot of the time. I don't care how much money you make. You can afford the $15 a month that Audible is. I don't think it might even be less than that. But you can figure out how to pay the $13 or $15 a month that Audible costs. From there, download a new book every single month. Now, I hate that Tai Lopez says read 52 books a year, or the average millionaire reads 52 books a year. That is a crazy amount of reading. If you're starting your own business, you do not have that much time to read that many books. But I'm a very good Audible person, and I could listen to books on my way to meetings in my car and just crush them. If a meeting's a half hour away, I'm banging out an hour worth of books. If I'm sitting around doing nothing, I might just pop that in, pop my AirPods in, and listen to a book that will ultimately further my career. I do a lot of self-improvement books. I do a lot of business books. I do a lot of marketing books because those are applicable to me. If you guys are interested in learning about or hearing about all the books that I've read so far, and I haven't read a tremendous amount, I'm probably around the 20 book mark in the last 2 years. But if you guys are interested, leave a comment below. If I get enough comments that say, hey, I want to know what books you're reading because I'm interested, by all means, I will absolutely make a follow-up video, but I just need to know to make it or not. I hope this video helped. I don't want to bash any of them because some of them might be, in some people's eyes, scammers or anything like that, but I have to give them a huge thank you because without them, I would absolutely not be where I am today. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on the next video. I know this is totally unrelated to my channel, but I really do appreciate it. Also, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, you should probably do that by now. Maybe the little bell and stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.